Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are live with the Flipping Live Show, episode 21, 20. I don't know. I missed last week with AR Edwards. I have that made up in December. Could not miss two in a row. So without further ado, you guys know who they are. Boom.
How
you guys doing?
Hey. We're good. We're great.
We're doing real good. Let's start.
Good.
I've got something. I want to kick it off with the most important question.
Oh my goodness.
The most important question for people in the comments below right now.
I watched mine yesterday, so it's not going to stand up.
Out of the three people that you see on this screen, who has the best hair?
Oh man. I'm going to give it to you. I have not. This is annoying enough, but I know that I have that Peter Griffin chin, so like I will refuse to cut this.
Oh my goodness.
But this is, I haven't had long hair since like 20. So this is kind of just to do it because I'm a reseller and I can look like a homeless person. Plus my kids hate it. So,
well, my excuse is we live in Maine and it's starting to get real cold up here. So it's just warm.
Yeah. It just makes me sweat more, but you know, I enjoy being that awkward parent that the kids are just like, oh God, really? That's what you're gonna look like today?
Oh man, I'm looking forward to that already.
Yeah, like I saw that it's popular again for men to wear jeans that are cut into really short shorts. My dad used to do that every baseball game. He would wear those and then have like a flannel tucked into it.
Oh, that's the greatest.
And he would just be up against the fence, just being like, run.
Oh.
And so I'm like, oh, I can't wait to pull that look off.
Oh, that is the greatest. I'm just picturing that. That's amazing.
Man, the chat is moving way faster than usual. Let me get in here before I forget everybody. SA Grind, what's going on? What's up, Jeff? Keith in here. Ellie and Michelle. Oh, did I say the name wrong again? I always get it wrong. It's L. Harry, Kitty, Dana, what's up? Marcus, Eric's in here. Eric already pre-messaged, was like, dude, so stoked for the live today.
Game on. What up, man?
So as you know, you guys watch a few times. I don't go into the same thing like every other live show. Like people know your story. I like to just get into randomness and wherever the road takes us. I do want to talk about certain things about what you guys do because yes, you're shoe sellers, but I think the way that you set it up systematically is what has made you guys so successful in what I would consider a short time as resellers.
Yep.
And I think that plays a huge part in what a lot of people miss when they get into this. Obviously you jump into reselling as like, oh, side money, this is going to be fun. I like treasure hunting. But you do have to take it seriously as a business if you want it to be something that you don't have to just log out of on Sunday and then go to your real job Monday. Yeah. What did you guys do before reselling that put your mindset into that kind of structure of having a business model?
I worked for my family business. My uncle and it was a handbag company where we made handbags out of recycled, like boat sails. And I did all the production, like I made all the bags, but then I also did all of the sales and marketing. So I kind of already had the numbers side down and, yeah.
And I did every single job underneath the sun that you can possibly think of. I've done everything. I've taken little pieces of everything and then formed it into what works well for us now. And when you talk about systems, they're always changing. And obviously they were very different in the beginning, but having an understanding of creating something that can pump out a result that is measurable as a reseller is vital, because then you can improve upon that system or you can figure out what isn't working in that system. And then the more that you do that, the more that we've done that over the years, the more we can predict the outcome of what next month's sales and profit is going to be. And that's very hard to do if you don't have systems.
For sure. Yeah. You see a lot of people that'll post certain, accomplishments that they're currently doing, but not a lot of people, I think, focus on next month or the next quarter or my goal for the next year. which is what big business and regular, jobs that we all came from. They're not just focused on that week. They're focused on, okay, well, for the quarter, we have to hit this target. For the year, we have to hit this target. So I see you guys basically set yourselves up for that for the year. And that's something that I gravitate towards, because I like to know. I don't like to guess a lot when it comes to certain things, especially when it comes to keeping a roof over the head, especially when you have, other dependents, which now you have another dependent too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, right out of camera. There we go. Oh, perfect.
No.
There you guys go.
Our little infant zombie is in the
Drew-
other
Drew's
room.
asking.
How long she lasts in there. Fingers
Yeah,
crossed.
that's why I had to pick noon, because this is the only time of day when we have no children. So you might hear
Yeah.
the dogs, but that's it. And how's that going? How's adding that new strategy into your lives?
It's good. It's
amazing, man.
Yeah, it's not. So far, the sleep has been better than we expected, I think. So we kind of had prepared ourselves for no sleep, and we're getting a decent amount. So that's been helpful, and kind of working out when each one of us does stuff for the business versus stuff for the baby. And it's definitely been a learning curve, but 6 months in or 6 weeks in, and feels like 6 months. 6 weeks in.
Yeah. We have a 6-year-old, 1.5-month-old.
Yeah. That's Stacy. Every day she'll look at a picture of our youngest, and she's just like, oh God, she's so big already.
Yeah.
Stop doing that, because then what happens is you're like, oh, let's have another one, and I got fixed, so we can't have any more. So let's not go down that road again.
Yeah, we're already doing the looking at. I mean, literally 6 weeks old. We're looking at pictures from the hospital, and we're like, holy
she looks
smokes.
so different.
Things are moving quick.
I did that probably around the same time frame. I looked at a photo, and then I looked back at the first one when I was holding her in the hospital. I'm like, is this the same baby?
Yeah.
Are we positive? Because they had just built the maternity wing. We were one of the first 100 babies born. So I'm like, they could have screwed up. There was a lot of stuff going on.
We've had that conversation. That we're like, what did they trade it out? Like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
But
luckily, I don't know if they did it for you. They wrote on the bottom of her foot.
Okay, so I'm glad that you just brought that up. So I didn't realize that that's a real thing.
Wait,
yeah.
Not a real thing. That is a real thing.
Uh-huh.
Oh my God.
Okay,
we were
so
joking.
I was trying to, on one of our posts, I was trying to make a joke about people asking us on a daily basis, which is okay if they do, how do I get the permanent marker off the bottom of shoes? And so when I first posted about Avery and being born, I said, it's crazy. Does anyone know how we can get the permanent marker off her foot? They wrote her name, and all these people messaged us with remedies on how to get permanent marker off the bottom. And I was like, guys, we're joking around. But apparently that's the thing.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just dry erase or permanent, but yeah, they'll write, especially in a large city or a huge hospital. Yeah, they do that. So
see, we're learning.
We had little matching bands. I had a band that was registered to her little band. So anytime we were in the same room, it would ding. And then if we were separated, it would set off an alarm.
Yo, listen to this. And if another mom gets close to your baby, it sets an alarm off. I was like,
crazy.
What?
It's you guys really have to worry about that?
Yeah. Did you get the awesome couch treatment in the hospital?
I got I ended up getting a cot because there was no couch.
That's probably more comfortable.
Yeah, there was this weird chair, which I guess would be the couch thing, and it was I don't know. I was down. I was ready to sleep in it, and they're like, "Oh no, let's get you a cot." And I was like, "Sweet, that's even better."
Yeah. So for the 5-year-old, for Micah, I just slept on the floor because I was like, okay, this couch is 3'6".
Yeah,
and it's not going to work. So I learned very quick. Each kid you learn, hospitals do not care about the parent or the father in the maternity ward.
Yeah.
The mom has all the nice everything, and the dad's like, oh, you just go over there and we'll tell you when you can come cut the cord.
So they bring her in, and they come in to get me to go into the birth, and they're like, all right, put this suit on, and they hand me this suit, and I look at the label, and it's a 3XL.
Nice.
And who cares, right? I just put it on, but all of a sudden I look like a pear-shaped Oompa Loompa just like going down the hallway.
You're just melting.
Yeah. They're like, what is up with you? And I'm like, this is all they had. Let's do this thing.
Yeah. I mean, really, because I mean, you're on the back, I guess you'd say the back tail end, but you had a COVID baby. So you're learning, you're just like we're raising the Riley in this new world of why is everyone wearing masks? What's daddy's face look like?
Yeah, that's for sure.
New thing.
The cereal box.
Yeah, I say Darren said he misses your cereal boxes.
Yeah,
we got to put them back up.
We've got them downstairs. We're gonna put them up in the cleaning room. Just haven't got around to that yet.
Cereal doesn't last in this house, so let me show you the bag. It doesn't last. The box doesn't last, especially if it's like Cinnamon Toast Crunch or anything like that.
Oh, game over.
What would be one pair of shoes when you first got started that you were selling that you just accepted, hey, this isn't a selling shoe, and just moved away? Because I think a lot of people, they continue to thrift stuff that they know is not a seller, but they just do it out of habit. Is there a brand that you've walked away from?
Yeah, I'll take it a step further. In a brand that does sell, but we don't recommend picking up anymore, and that is Keds.
Nice.
Because and I guess I've got some notes too of some stuff that I wanted to touch upon. Like, here's the reality: you can make money on every single pair of shoes that's in the thrift.
Yep.
Like any single pair, you might have to spend a very long time reconditioning the pair, and that might not make sense for you. You might not have a big selection, whatever. But the reality is every single pair. So then what you have to do, and what I mean by Keds, is whittle down what works for you. And what we've done is we've learned as many brands as we possibly can, and we continue to learn more. We most recently we brought on 2 brands. I can't remember the name of them off the top of my head. It's like weird Italian names, but and then what we do is we source those brands, and then we look at the sell-through rates, something that you've talked about very frequently, which is super important. And then we say, all right, is it worth it for us to spend the money on this brand? Is it moving quick enough? Is it making enough money? And sometimes within a brand, there's a style that might not make as much sense. For example, I just mentioned Keds as a brand. Nike Shocks, but the new Shocks.
Like the in-between, right? Because they just came out with the new.
Oh, they just came out with a new. All right.
The Gravity or whatever.
Oh, there you go. Okay, so Nike Gravity Shocks. I put that out there because those don't sell as well as old Nike Shocks.
Yeah.
And as well as like the brand new Shocks. So I'm just trying to give an example of where, looking at our own numbers, we're whittling stuff away so that when we go sourcing, it's very clear cut. We're looking for this, this, and this, as well as maybe some brands we don't know. I mean, we're still looking up comps while we're in store of the stuff that we don't know.
Well, and with the Keds, like Red Mountain Resell said that every brand, there's also specific styles that might be better, or like collabs or something. So right. We picked up a pair of Keds the other day because they were like Taylor Swift Keds. And right now Taylor Swift is like going off. Everybody's like all about Taylor Swift. So we'll grab stuff like that. Or there's like,
she's Kanye's girlfriend. Is that right?
Oh my God.
All I know is I heard some sad song playing in my room the other day, and I was like, what are you crying about? And Stacy's like, Taylor Swift's new song is so sad.
I think we're all supposed to hate Jake Gyllenhaal now or something.
Oh, that's it.
Or what's the
Jake Gyllenhaal. He was in
Kate Spade. Keds. We'll grab those, but not just we used to grab the basic canvas Keds at the beginning.
Not good.
Yeah, we don't do that.
They'll make you money, but they'll take forever, and it's not worth it.
Yeah, the only ones that I think we've ever moved are like the platform ones.
Right.
Yeah.
That's another good example.
I always called Keds like nurses' shoes.
Yep.
But then you learn about what's the brand?
Nursemates.
Yeah, and then SAS here is like huge.
Yeah.
See, I read that quickly out of the corner of my good eye, and all I saw was Dalton Loves Kids, and I was like, "What? I'm not putting that."
The internet, it can go 0 to cancellation station quick.
That's the best part about my life is I don't know where we're going. Finally, there we go. Stacy's in the chat. She's usually helping me out.
Hey, what up, Stacy?
She's in the other room. I told her earlier. I said, "Look, if I have to just randomly get up from my live, I'm going to be like, you guys take over. I'll be back in a few minutes."
Yeah.
Yes.
Love it.
For everyone in the chat, I've been sick since Monday night. COVID negative as of this morning. Pretty sure it's food poisoning. I have a bad habit of just microwaving things that you probably shouldn't microwave instead of cooking it. And they make this fake egg called Just Eggs, which is like a liquid, comes in a bottle, and it's like mung bean weird. I don't know.
What?
Anyway, I microwaved that, and I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to do that. So that night it started, and it's just been fun every day since. So she's been doing double duty, pulling orders and taking care of kids and bringing me Powerade and extra toilet paper and all the good stuff. So
you gotta appreciate that.
Oh yeah, she's been a trooper. Oh, she's running. Wow, she's running around the neighborhood right now. I didn't even know. She's getting her cardio in. Okay.
Oh, she just pulled up over here. She just ran all the way up here.
Jesus.
She's walking in the door.
That's one thing. She loves to run, and I do not run from anything. So I just nothing. We actually, after the live, we're going to meet with a bookkeeper talking about systems. We are trying to get lined up since we're now full-time as of November 1st.
Congratulations, man.
Thank you. With 2022, I want to get everything on the right foot. I've been doing it, every payout, I take out percentage for taxes and put it in an account and forget about it. But I want to hand that over to somebody that actually knows all of that.
That's smart.
Versus trying to guess, because this is the last year where I'm blending my other company with our resell, and I have a feeling that it's going to be a rough tax season for me.
Yeah, take the weight off your shoulders with that.
Right.
Yeah, so if I could pay somebody else to do that, I'm all for it. Again, that's one of those business necessities, kind of like us moving everything out of the storage unit, which is why I don't have the shoe wall anymore. It's just a necessity that started to happen.
Smart move, man.
But and then I've pulled a pair of shoes, like I said, for the giveaway.
Nice.
Nike Project PODs. I have no idea. I just grabbed a pair this morning. They say 6Y, but if you're a shoe seller, you know that is a 7.5 women's or a 6 men. That's going to be your best way to sell it.
Double up.
Shoe. Again, I don't really have any topics, man. I just enjoy talking with people, especially someone that's in the same view. You said you had some things written down. Where you want to steer this?
Risk neutral is the goal. That was my bullet point. And so let me break it down. I think a lot of resellers, including us in the past, we try to get to this monetary goal, right? And I think that's important. I think it's important to have a goal to go towards. But the more that we've evaluated our business, the more we've realized that very, very quickly, 4 years ago, we got our business to a risk neutral place. And what we mean by that is, with very little effort, because the systems we've already talked about, there's very little risk in our life. And so when that happens in your business, and it's different for everyone, right? You may only need $1,000 a month. You may only need 500. You may need 20,000. Whatever that is per month, figure out systems that allow you to get to that point. Now, let me go a little bit step further. The $10 to $25 model that we started with is something that we're constantly thinking about. So what I mean is, buy a pair for $10 or less, clean them up, and try your best to get $25 back for that shoe. Whether it means selling them for $29 on Facebook, selling them for 30 and change on Poshmark, whatever that is, you want to try to turn 10 into 25. Our dog's playing.
Awesome.
And that I swear she's never played with this toy.
She's like, I got some risk for you.
Yeah. Okay. No.
Hold that. That $10 to $25 model says, all right, with doubling my money, how many times do I have to do that every single month to hit my X goal? And so I'm trying to give tangible things that will allow you to get to a place in your business where there's so much less stress. And then you can try things like ordering pallets of shoes. You can try things like maybe if you only do used shoes, you can try things like, I'm going to go to the outlet and spend hundreds of dollars rather than $50 to $100. And because our business is risk neutral, we can try to do all these things, but at the same time, most of our day is spent doing nothing reseller related.
Which is the goal, honestly.
Right. It creates this peace of mind. And the reason I decided I wanted to talk about this is I don't hear enough conversation about it. and it's different for everyone. That's why I want to use that term risk neutral, because it's like, not like, hey, your goal should be $10,000 a month, or your goal should be, $250,000 a year or whatever. If you can get your business to a risk neutral place and you never have to worry about money, then it's like real game on with life. And that may mean starting another business. That may mean trying new things to grow your current business. That may mean literally checking out and spending 99% of your day with your newborn, which we do.
Yep.
While they're in their developmental stages, and then in the future, blowing it up. And so the conversation around this terminology, which I heard recently, this risk neutral environment, investors talk about it. They're like, oh, if I can get an investment that's so good that the upside is risk neutral, like game on.
Yeah.
It's the other part of that conversation is like risk heavy, right? Like, all right, I'm just starting out reselling. I only have $100 to my name. Where should I spend that money? It's like, that's very risk heavy, right? Like, first of all, you should not spend that $100. You should start with stuff in your closet. You shouldn't spend any money. 100%. And then you gradually over time grow that. Or I don't really care about money at all, so I'm just going to go spend $10,000 at Burlington Coat Factory on shoes. Like, that's not enough risk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, so you guys are set in similar situation to us, where it's like, we know what our number is that we have to hit every month. And luckily we're not in that position where it's like the last week of the month and we're like, crap, we still need another, 3,000 in sales to get enough to keep the lights on until next month. Like, we don't, of course we have our goals every month of what we want to hit gross, but that is so far away from what we actually need to survive. That the risk you're talking about, like we just did that with these shoes, and our goal with all the new shoes is hopefully that is going to be what just keeps all the bills paid, and then allows us to go do the fun stuff like, hey, let's drive around Texas and see how many pairs of shoes we can get in a weekend. Or let's travel or anything like that.
That's a very smart model though, right? Like, that's methodical, it's trackable, and you can see whether it works or not. And it's worked. I've seen you've been posting. I mean, your account is going up and up and up.
Yeah.
And so clear, when money is coming in, you can figure out the profit from there. When zero money is coming in, it's very difficult to figure out. You know what I mean? Like, you can always try to improve your profit margins. You're always going to be improving your systems. When money's coming in, that's a lot easier.
For sure. Let me miss these people. So we got Chad checking in from 3rd grade math class. That's awesome.
Fun.
Very cool.
Teach them about investing while you're in. Just sneak it in there somewhere.
Yeah, that's true.
Drew said, you guys run any end of the year sales to try to get rid of inventory? So us maybe in December I might do something, but so far now, no.
Yeah, we don't. No. Yeah, the easy answer is we don't do anything different. We don't do anything different in Q4 compared to Q3. I mean, we do different strategies throughout the year, but we're not big heavy on like, all right, it's Q4, let's do something different than we normally do. We try to just improve upon last month, and just continue to do that over and over again. I hope that's clear what I'm saying. Like, what worked for us last month may not work for us this month. So we're trying to like constantly figure that out and improve upon our numbers. We don't get stuck in, usually January for us is a lot bigger than December, and then February is better than January, and so on.
Yeah. If you're selling pants, so I get rid of all with the string. I mean, I have 4 pair of jeans going out today, but I'm trying to move all my jeans out so I can just have more room for shoes. But I sell stuff year round, so I would say no. I don't think you have to run any kind of sales. We sell boots and year round, and we have snow never, so I sell boots locally year round, even without any kind of weather that needs them.
Yeah, in the shoe world, I mean, we ship flip-flop sandals to Alaska and heavy winter boots to Florida all the time. So like, when sourcing, it's less expensive to buy heavy winter boots in the summer, but we get everything listed right away and it sells all year long.
Yeah, as far as like is a sourcing strategy, yes, obviously there's better times to get boots, and that's a good thing. That's what I would tell people too. But As far as like selling it, man, shoes, boots are going to sell whenever. Athletic shoes are always going to sell. Like I always tell people, because my main focus now has been to turn into like an eBay nerd and learn all the ins and outs of that platform, because it's the one that does the best for us. And
Love it.
using that TerraPeak research tool that they give you free with your store, you just type in shoes and it will show you, hey, this is how many pairs of this brand have sold in the last 90 days. And I'm like, okay, obviously it's Nike, Reebok, Puma, things like that, but they'll break it down by color and tell you how many black pair of shoes, how many purple pair, and you can just build your sourcing off of that. But it's number 2 category on eBay. So
yeah,
I love it.
I think, well, she found the little toy again.
So awesome.
Yeah. It's so funny. She's like, "Oh, Chris is on live, and I've never played with this toy before."
I heard he mentioned he had dogs. Let me show him.
Well, I think one thing that you just said, I want to emphasize, because we talk about it all the time, but pouring gas on what's working and leaving the rest behind. You just said you've whittled down to like becoming a master on eBay, and people, I think, don't understand how important what you just said is. Because like people are winning on every single marketplace every single day. And that does not mean you have to use all the marketplaces. And it's a lot, like, try them, but then whittle it down to what you enjoy, what you're going to put the time into, and what's working for you. eBay doesn't work for us, but it would be the most silly thing for me to say you can't build a monster business on eBay. Like it's proven every single day. Yeah. Case in point, you're building a monster business on eBay.
Trying. I like to, in my mind, it's still small. I know where I want to go, and I know what I'm going to need to do to get in. And we're just growing on that. The new shoes are fun because it's easy. We literally show up, we drop the kids off in the morning, we go to the storage unit, we lift up the door, we're like, okay, those 4 boxes, that's 100 pairs. You got 50, I got 50. We turn on the lights on the photo booth and we just get to work. And we're done in like an hour. We pull our solds and then we come back home.
Hell yeah.
We're done by noon completely for the day as far as like the reselling. And then that's when we can go do the fun stuff, the thrifting or the, lay in bed and hope your stomach doesn't explode kind of thing.
See how many different ways we can get food poisoning.
Yeah. Like, hey, what can I microwave today? Darren asked if you guys are using the new USPS shipping option on Mercari. I don't sell on Mercari, so I don't have a clue.
No, we do all USPS. It does cost a little bit more on Mercari. Usually for our shoes, it costs about $12, but we like the peace of mind of just getting all of our free USPS boxes shipped right to us, and using our free USPS labels, and just makes it easier for us.
Darren, you also said a really good point in your question. You said it costs less, but it takes longer.
Yeah.
And so what the answer to your question is, who's getting hurt more?
Yeah.
And we'd rather take the brunt so that our customer is happy, so that they come back again. So we'll pay a little bit more, but our shoes are getting there quicker, which means the people are happier, which means they're going to buy from us again. If you are passing the brunt or creating friction to the buyer, don't expect them to come back. So it's like, you might want to save a couple dollars and have it show up in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. But now the buyer's like, oh, I'm not going to buy from them again because it took too long for the shoes to show up.
One thing I've noticed is right now, UPS is cheaper than USPS for mostly everything, especially shoes. So, as a test, I ordered 25 just brown shoe boxes from Amazon. They're like 15 they fit a boxed pair of shoes perfectly, or a pair of boots. But that extra like $1.20 I was saving, I'm now having to buy the box, and it's not getting there as fast. So that lasted like 3 pairs. And then I'm just like, you know what, I'll eat the difference, because I like the free boxes from USPS. I don't have to like makeshift them anyway. I know what fits in them. Yeah. I've got the sizing down. I almost know all of the pricing memorized on what they do. So yeah, exactly. And if you look at our feedback right now, the last like 30 of them are all like, holy crap, fast shoes. Holy crap, I got them the next day.
Yep. Yeah.
And that's what it comes down to, because that's going to get you your feedback, will get you more sales, and that's going to get a returning customer.
Here's a quick question. So you just said it's a little bit cheaper now in a Mercari. And it doesn't matter on Poshmark because it's all USPS on Poshmark, but on Mercari, you have the choice, right? Like you can do UPS, FedEx, USPS. My question to you is it cheaper because you're doing UPS through pirate ship?
So I have my pirate ship synced to my eBay account. But even just using eBay alone, it's still cheaper, usually by about $1.50.
All right.
For whatever reason right now, I've had other resellers that do shoes. They'll message me. They're like, "Hey, why aren't you using UPS ground?" And I'm like, "Because I get free boxes from USPS."
Yeah.
That's
The reason
100% why.
the reason I asked that question is in a Mercari environment, if you use a third-party shipper like Pirate Ship, you obviously that's great, right? Like meaning you can save a little bit of money, but you lose your seller protection through Mercari.
Oh,
So
yeah.
now what happens? Now what happens is you've saved. Let's use your example. You've saved. I don't know what you actually save on Mercari when you use UPS versus, but let's say you save the $1.50, or let's call it even $2. Then you have to buy a box for $1. Now, let's say the shoe has to get returned, or the person opens up a case or whatever. Mercari is just going to be like, all right, good luck to you. And then I don't know if Pirate Ship will cover the shoes. So you got to, the reason I want to bring that up is you got to think about those things when making that few cents decision or dollar decision. Think about the ease, right? Like we're in your boat. We get thousands of boxes dropped off to our house for free from USPS. The quarter-mile down the road is the post office. The peace of mind is super easy, and we have protection. To save 80 cents on Mercari, but then get screwed when someone tries to return it, it's not worth it to us.
Yeah, that's another reason that everyone's like, "Why do you use eBay shipping?" And I'm like, seller protection. Like, if you buy your label outside of and you just put in the tracking number, you've lost that protection. Which if you're paying $1 more or whatever, I'd rather have that protection, because most of the time, if you're a top rated seller and you're doing everything the way it should be, your document, your description, your photos are all good, it's pretty easy I know a lot of people say that the seller always loses on eBay, but we've won a bunch of times, and it's because we had everything the way it should be.
Yeah.
Devin asked you stay away from boots. No, because you can use the 1095 and you should be able to make that fit. I mean, we've put cowboy boots, Sorel boots, winter boots, all kinds of boots in there. You can even double stack the 1095s on top of each other and make it longer, kind of like I used to do with Guitar Hero guitars.
Yeah. Same exact answer from us.
Usually right now, boots, depending on where they're going, like Zone 8, Portland, Oregon, things like that, it's going to be about $14.41, $16.28 is what it's going to cost from Texas there. So I just kind of think about that before I consider accepting an offer that's not full price, that I know I'm going to be eating $14 to $16.
Yep, makes sense.
You guys pick up $15 profit shoes, trash from the hard goods for the past year. In my opinion, I have similar margins. I mean, it depends. Again, it all comes down to your sell-through rate. I mean, if you can make $15 profit, but there's only 2 sold and there's 100 listing, then no, I wouldn't pick those up.
Yeah, I think. What do you have?
Go ahead.
I was gonna say there's a lot more to that question too, right? Like when you say, do you pick up a $15 profit shoe? Are you saying that's like the best case scenario? Then the answer for us would be no, and here's why. Not because we're better than $15, obviously, but the answer is no, because we know we can find more pairs that will make us a minimum of $25.
Yeah.
And those pairs cost us less than $10. So the cost is $10 and we're getting back $35. So like we would say no to the $15 pair on that. Now, the answer might be yes for you, right? Like if you're selling and you're just starting out, there's nothing wrong with making $1 profit on a pair of shoes and learning from that sale. The bummer and what you want to stay away from is if your goals are higher than that, continuing to do that over and over and expecting to make $25, or even worse, buying a pair and losing money on it.
Yeah.
And then saying, oh, I'm just going to go buy that pair. I'm going to go buy Keds again because I only lost $1 on this pair. It's like, no, that's not the point of this. Not even getting your money back. But like, if you're just starting out or you're making decisions, learn from that decision, even if you only made $1, and then say, was that worth it for me to make $1 or not? And
or things like instant flips. Like when we used to
Oh,
go
yeah.
to the Nike outlets and Adidas outlets, and we would sell pairs instantly on StockX. Like you go on StockX or on GOAT, and people put up bids like what they're willing to pay for a pair of shoes. And if you find that pair of shoes, you can accept.
That time that was me. That was me.
You can accept the bid and sell the pair instantly. So we would take a $15 instant profit before we even buy the pair of shoes, because there's literally no risk involved, and also no listing or anything like that. So yeah, there's a lot of different ways you could take that question. But
yeah, I used to I love learning things the hard way, I guess, has kind of been my life motto, always the hard way. But getting a pair of shoes that you think you can make money of from the bins, and you spend an hour cleaning them, and you're like, man, these are amazing. Look what they were. Look what they are now. And you make $1 profit, and you're like, never again. Never again.
Yeah. Right. But
I learned how to clean very good shoes. I made no money, but I did learn how to clean very good shoes. But I also know, okay, that wasn't worth the hour that I spent to make that $1.
Two things I want to share. You said you call that the hard way. I call that the right way, because you're exactly like me. Like someone could have told us, hey, you're not going to make money on that. That wouldn't have worked. Yeah. Right. Like we needed to like go through it. I've done that so many times at the bins. And the second thing that I want to tell you, and specifically to the people that are watching this, make a short video of you cleaning that pair and post it on Instagram or on YouTube, and you will 10x your money on that pair. And you never have to sell that pair.
Nice.
See what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
Like I get it's hard to make money on YouTube. It is. I get it's hard to make money on Instagram. It is. But like, think outside the box for those pairs that you might not make money on, right? Like teach other people how to do this, or even say, hey guys, do not do what I'm I'm showing you right now. And the money that you'll make on the YouTube or
will be the difference.
Like we make like a couple $100 a month on Instagram.
Nice.
And it's literally just showing people what we're doing and how we're doing. And I think there's this whole market. I can picture a shoe reseller that literally never, ever, ever sells a shoe ever, and making all the money that they need, just showing people, yeah, how to clean shoes, how to go source shoes. Now, I'm not saying doing that, but it's an opportunity.
Yeah, for sure. No, that makes a lot of sense. And then I would just probably put them on the shelf and be like, see that shoe? And if I sold it, I'd make nothing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Stacy asked, you guys ever think you'll get back on eBay again?
Never say never.
Yeah, we're not. Yeah. No. Well, so here, all right. Here's the real. What she just said is real, right? Like
that Taylor Swift.
What
is never say never? Taylor Swift.
Nailed it.
I thought we were circling back to Taylor Swift.
Did a collaboration with Jake Gyllenhaal. It's a great song. Right now, there's no need for us to do that.
Yeah.
Right. Now, we most recently had kind of like a little hiccup in where one of the marketplaces we use, something happened, we remedied it and stuff like that. There is a day in the future where if Poshmark's not working, if Mercari's not working, if Facebook Marketplace is not working and hitting as hard as it is, we are not romantic to those marketplaces whatsoever. We are romantic to a system that pumps out the results that we want. And we've used eBay in the past, and then it didn't work for us for a bunch of different reasons, but we're not against trying it again. I mean, eBay is always trying to improve. There's marketplaces, for example, that aren't improving. And so if eBay gets better than other marketplaces, we'd reconsider it. Like, we're not against it, but there's no need for us to do that right now.
Yeah. Like, the system, if it isn't broke, don't fix it kind of thing.
It's the same reason why, like, when people reach out to us and they hate Poshmark and they're like, I'm going insane. I hate sharing. I hate doing all this stuff. Like, don't use it. Yep. Like, you don't need to use Poshmark just because people are winning on it. You don't need to use Facebook Marketplace because people are making tons of money on it. Just like,
I am one of those people.
Yeah.
Like, dude, I hate Poshmark. And I was like, why am I putting myself through this headache and torture when I don't even like it? Just get away from it and concentrate. Put all your eggs into focus into making sure you're the best at this thing. So, no, true. No, I did see today that Poshmark has now acquired the Amazon CFO.
Yep.
and they promised changes and all these things. And my only comment was like, oh, let's turn it into a selling platform and not a social platform. If I could wake up because we push our 90 to 120 day shoes onto Posh, just get them out at cost, get them away. And every morning I wake up and it's like 400 people saying, hey, saw you're here. I'm a Posh ambassador. If there's anything I can do, let me know. And I'm always just like, buy some shoes.
Yeah. Well, so first of all, that's what drove me insane for the first 3 months of Poshmark. Yeah. I was like, what the heck is going on? Do they think like I'm in their living room and we're supposed to sip on coffee and like talk about stuff and I'm not into this? Then I figured, all right, I can block most of that out and focus on, the pros and cons of this, and gave it a little bit more time. But the reason I say that is to say this too, like what you said about this big announcement, like marketplaces are always going to make these big announcements. We don't really pay that much attention to these like big monster announcements. We pay attention to what is actually happening on the, like what you said was perfect. Like, hey, person that it just told me your life story on Poshmark. Like, do you want to buy shoes?
Yeah.
That's what we're here for.
Yep.
Great that you're a Posh ambassador. Great that you have 17 kids and they're all, wearing Posh t-shirts. Like, great. Yeah. Do they all want shoes? Because that's what we're here for.
Yeah.
Like, we get away from the riffraff. We get away from big announcements. Every marketplace makes a big announcement.
Yeah.
But does it work for you? And more importantly, are you comfortable using it? Should be the questions that you answer.
Also, a big thing with Poshmark is turn off all the notifications for all of the stuff that you don't actually want to find out about. So like anytime someone follows you, get rid of those notifications.
Yeah.
And that alleviates a little bit of the extra.
Yeah, I just set up my my share timer thingy, and I'm just like, in the morning I turn on, I'm like, go, leave me alone.
Yes, someone asked how long we shared our Posh Closet before hiring Poshmark Share. What do you think it was? Like a year, probably?
Oh my goodness.
Wait, what?
How long did we manually share our closet before we hired someone?
We waited until we were making over $100 net profit per day, and we had over 500 active listings. Those are the two things. And here's the reason. The Poshmark Share virtual assistant that we hired is $100 per month. So like we were like, all right, risk assessment. If we spend $100 for this month, that's 1 day's profit from this one platform. Let's test it to see if it works or not. And our sales didn't skyrocket because we were already sharing our listings, but holy smokes, all that time we were spent sharing is now free. And so that was the good trade-off. And that's the bar that we set for that reason. Meaning when people ask us, I'm going to give you an example and I won't use this person's name. They reached out to us through Instagram. They said, hey, I just bought the package that I bought the virtual assistant that you guys use. And we said, oh, that's cool. And they said, are my sales going to go high? Like basically a bunch of questions whittling down to like, are my sales going to increase? My first question was, how many active listings do you have? And this person said 30. And I said, you need to get your money back, my friend, because you do not need someone to share your listings. Literally, you could share all those listings while you're on the toilet and still have time to read the news and still have time to watch Flip the World's YouTube video. Like you do not, you guys, I get that it's not as fun, but only bring on staff and services when you need them and when it makes sense. Like if something takes you literally less than 5 minutes to do, you should do it yourself.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. That was a very nice response to that person. You should quit reselling. Bye. No.
Dana. Yeah. Dana, it was not Dana.
Is there any Rnzy merch in the works?
No, we've done Rnzy merch in the past. We did 3 pairs of Rnzy socks, which was funny. It was a gas can pouring gas on a fire.
Nice.
We did Rnzy hats that were like this.
Yeah, I remember the beanies.
Yep.
That's all.
That's it. Yeah. No, I mean, we really appreciate the question, and we do have people that reach out to us. it boils down to all that goes along with that, right? Like,
Yeah.
I think it's awesome to have merch. I think it's super awesome to support people. We have a Flip the World IKEA bag, which gives us, holy crap, gave us the best luck yesterday in the thrift. I don't know if you saw our story.
Were those the Vivo?
Dude.
Yeah, those look brand new.
The lady brought them out and they're $6. And I was like, what did you, and she's like, yeah, they were a little, and I was like, I'm not going to argue with you. Like, what's going on here? I just want to multiply what's working. Like,
You're like, I'm going to go check out this one pair right now and put them in the car and then come back in. Yeah.
I'm going to sprint. Luckily at that thrift, there was someone who was under the influence who was in line taking stuff from the store and trying to return it right away in the store without buying it.
Yeah. See, like that right there. That's all. When I think about making YouTube videos, that's what I'd have been filming. I'd have been like, this is gold. And then I'm the only one laughing when I rewatch it. I'm like, this is so funny.
You're right. I should have recorded that. She was not very sneaky. But the reason I brought that up is I was like, I think there's something going on here. Like, this lady's distracting everyone. So the whole system's effed. So they're just like putting $6 on every pair.
Yeah. They do things like that now. So we've noticed that our Goodwills have started keeping shoes and keeping certain items that they're listing themselves on like shopgoodwill.com. I know that Eric, Red Mountain Reseller, he's been crushing it, buying stuff from them, having it shipped to the door and then reselling. But yeah, so even like we go to our shoe plug store sometimes and they're just like, yeah, we've been told to not bring out a lot of that stuff that we used to bring out to you. And I'm like, okay, I get it. It's a business. You know, so it's just one of those things.
Here's what happens. So over the last 4 years, we've seen ebbs and flows of this, right? Like the same exact store will, for a couple months, price everything from $6 to $15. And then all of a sudden you'll walk in and every single pair is $25 to $35. Same store.
Yep.
And then that'll happen for 30 to 60 days. And then everyone's complaining and everyone's not buying stuff. And then management's like, why are we not selling anything? And then the price comes back down. Or here's what might happen in your scenario, which we've seen in our area. That has happened, right? Because they have a person in the back who's knowledgeable. That person quits.
Yep.
And now all of a sudden they need to start putting the shoes back out and having money come in. So don't get discouraged when you see that. Obviously, source somewhere else. The one thing I actually put in our notes to bring up today is it's kind of crazy when people say like, oh my God, this thrift, the prices are so high. Like the thrifts we go in have $100 pairs.
Yeah.
Like we don't buy those pairs.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, we buy the pairs that make sense, or if all the pairs don't make sense, we stop going to that thrift. It does not make sense to beat your head against the wall at the same place.
No,
like,
for sure.
Like think outside the box. You may have to travel a little bit or wait, give it a couple months, or do some online arbitrage.
Yeah. What that's the other thing. Like whenever they come out and they're like, hey, blah, 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 I don't get mad or I'm just like, hey, no problem. Cause I see all these news articles coming out about secondhand, is booming business and 77 billion by 2025. And they are a business. They want to cash in on that. And if they think that they can hire people to take photographs and you go to shopgoodwill.com, look at the photographs they're taking, look at how they're presenting the items they're trying to sell. That business model is not going to work very long. People aren't going to buy the products because you can't see any flaws. They don't show you photos of flaws. Everything's sold as is. And then it'll go back to normal. They'll realize that it's more. They would have to invest more into the company, hiring the right staff, training the staff, getting proper photo, things like that. It's easier for them to just put it out on the floor and let someone else deal with it. So it's like you said, it's just a wave. Secondhand is huge right now. What do you got? June there was 3.2. August there was 4.3. There's like 8 million people that decided they don't want to work anymore at what they've been doing. So obviously the market for finding new ways to make money is huge. So yes, there's more competition, but competition is what breeds excellence, in my opinion. It makes you focus better on your craft and get better. And just because there's another shoe seller, and let's say there's another shoe seller like you guys here in Houston, I'm not going to get discouraged. That just means I got to be better at what I'm doing.
Right.
And as long as you have that mindset, it doesn't really matter what happens. We're all businesses. Goodwill, thrift stores, they're all businesses. We all want to make money, and there's a way to make money. Like Vivo Barefoot, we find those here usually under $10 because they don't even know what that brand is. They just assume that's like a Target brand or something.
Yep.
And I'm never going to tell them it's not. It was like, oh, these, I'll take them. My kid will play in them.
Yeah. It's funny too, because you can tell when they try to hire someone who knows a little something about reselling. Because here's another thing, like that I don't think I don't think Goodwill realizes, or Salvation Army, or I'm going to use all of them, Savers, their in-store marketplace is a lot different than online. Every marketplace has a different value. So if you look up a pair and it's selling for $100 on eBay, that does not mean that it makes sense to sell it for $100 in your store.
Correct.
And it's the same thing. And the reason I bring that up, as a reseller, if you're listening to this, if you look up a pair and it's selling on eBay for $1,000, it doesn't mean you go on Facebook and try to sell that pair for $1,000. Because in that exact environment, people will laugh at you on Facebook. You'll deal with so much riffraff. But it does make sense to do it on eBay, right? Or like on StockX. On StockX, there's pairs selling for like $20,000.
Yeah.
If you try to sell that pair on any other marketplace, they will literally laugh at you. They'll flag your account. They'll say you're like, so marketplace does matter. And as a reseller, you can use that to your advantage, where you can go into any of these marketplaces and find pairs that people are not taking good photographs of, and they can't sell them, so they have to reduce their price, buy them. And all you got to do is take a better photograph and put it back up on the same marketplace.
Yeah. That's what Eric's been doing a lot of is the retail arbitrage, but from thrift stores. So I think that he's doing the same thing, just taking better photos of the product. Plus he's got a system down where he knows what he sells, he knows what's hot, and he just goes and finds that. And that's, it's smart. It's just another thing to add to your business. Like the other thing I look at is when people talking about thrift store prices and all this, is they're getting so much inventory constantly. I mean, here in Houston, we just got a notification yesterday. They're opening up a 5th bin store. 2 years ago, we had no bin stores. Now we have 5. So
dude,
they're not running out of
only
inventory.
4 bin stores in New England.
Yeah, we have 5 in Houston now. And so that lets me know, like, okay, well, yeah, prices are high at certain locations, but obviously the inventory is too much to handle to where they're having to keep opening up more. And what they're doing is they're shutting down retail stores and just bringing them back up as a bin store. Yeah. So it's not like they're adding a new location. They're actually removing the retail store. So that means eventually the retail stores are going to either have to get their stuff together, or we're just going to have bin store everywhere.
Man, I wish New England took the Houston example, because we're talking to a lot of managers of stores of certain thrifts, and unfortunately they're throwing stuff away, rather like unsorted stuff. It's not even getting to the bins.
They got caught here in Houston doing that.
Well, have them call up here. We're like, we're trying to like buy truckloads of stuff for more than they sell it for in store. And every time we get to the decision maker, that guy gets fired because he's being an idiot.
Yeah, there's certain locations here that are actually turning away donations, which is crazy. And then I found out, I don't know if you guys have those there, but here, like in random parking lots, usually strip centers, gas station, or Walmart, they'll have these like wooden boxes, like the clothing and shoe donation boxes. That's just a random. That's honestly, I found out who that is. It's just a wholesaler. He collects all of it, and then he just bundles it and he sells it.
Smart. That's super smart.
He just happens to have a 501c, so he went out and got his nonprofit. He sets up these boxes. He gets permission to do that. People bring him the inventory. He sorts out what he wants that he can sell, in bundles to regular, probably resellers, and then the rest he just sells overseas.
That's super smart.
Yeah, I didn't realize it till I started getting into wholesale, and I'd go to suppliers, and I'm like, "Wait, you have like 50 of those boxes?" He's like, "Yeah, those are mine." I'm like, "Wait, what? Those were for a charity." He's like, "It's a 501c." I'm like, "What?" So now I'm thinking, oh man, I should have Flip the World boxes everywhere.
Right.
It's a thing. You could do it. The value you could provide is like, hey, I'll pick up your stuff that you want to donate. There's a guy that does that up here. He's like, I'll bring all the stuff that you're actually going to donate to the thrift. I'll pick it up and donate it for you. And then he just takes what he wants.
Yeah. Dean from Hustlin' Hooks, one of their last videos when they were talking about getting an office space, he mentioned that one of their ideas that they want to do is be like the middleman between someone taking their stuff to a donation center. Like, hey, bring your stuff to us first. We'll buy some stuff from you, so you're getting a little bit back, and then we'll go ahead and donate the rest for you.
Yeah, I think the friction in that model is like you need to go to them and pick it up.
Yeah,
Because if you're trying to say, hey, instead of taking a right and going to the thrift, take a left and go to us, already you're creating friction in what's like a decision. Like, what do you mean? I'm just going to go to the place where I dropped stuff off. Now I got to go to this new place.
You got to be like one of those like 1-800-JUNK kind of.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Like, we have the one here that I always laugh at. It's like 2 college hunks lugging junk. And then you see them,
nice.
and they're both like 45-year-old guys in the truck. I'm like, are y'all still in college?
Oh my God, that's so great.
Keith said it's the League City's closing down. So yeah, so League City's about to get they're going to be the 5th bin store here in Houston. Your family think you're crazy when you went into reselling. My family has always thought I was crazy.
Yeah, they laughed at us and they were like, and that was when Lindsay and I had just met. So like, Lindsay's dad was like, hey, Bob, we got to, hey, Bob, my very successful daughter now all of a sudden is got a house full of used shoes, and you moved in, and like, hey, Bob, what's going on here? And then he started, he's an amazing man. He started seeing like how happy we were, and that holy smokes, we could not only pay all our bills, but we would always go over and watch football. Like it turned into like, okay, you guys are doing some big things now. Here's my size and here's the brands that I'm looking for.
Yeah. I think initially, like obviously anything that's out of the norm of what you've always learned, especially older generations, it's different. But then when they start saying like, man, you guys are around more.
Yeah.
Man, you guys are taking trips. Oh, you guys are doing whatever wait, it's 12 o'clock and you're at the movies on a Wednesday. What's going on?
Like, it became very, very real too when we like bought a house, because you can't like fake to the bank that you can, buy a house with what your income is. And so I think that was very eye-opening to a lot of our friends and family. Like, oh, this is real. Like they're actually paying their bills. They're actually making enough money to have a really great life.
Man, when we first started, everyone was laughing at us. And the first 1,000 pairs we sold, we hand delivered within 50 miles of Portland, Maine, where we live. Like we didn't ship any shoes until probably even like up to like our 2,000th pair. Like we had no idea that you could sell used shoes online. We were posting them on Facebook, and then someone from 49 miles away would say, yeah, I want those shoes. And in your description, you said you delivered within 50 miles. And all your shoes are only $25 a pair. So can I have those dance goes for $25 and I live 49 miles away? And I was like, we got to figure out this 50-mile range thing.
We might need to bring this in a little bit.
But yeah. And I guess the point of that story was to say like, but we realized like we were spending all day in parking lots together, like meeting people. And then we were bringing in all this money, and like it snowballed into what we have now, which is a house, and we're building our family, and so much time freedom and tons of money in the bank, not bragging, but like comfortability, that type of thing.
Yeah. I mean, that's the ultimate goal. Like with my mom, she's a worrywart her whole life, still is. Like, I didn't even tell her I was sick until today, because I knew if I told her Monday, she would annoy me or Stacy until I was like, I'm better.
Yeah.
So what I did was I just sent her the picture of the negative COVID test, and then she just went crazy.
It's a small blast, right? Like
it's like, here, this is what's going on in my life today. But once she sees like, we don't miss the kids stuff, and we're doing stuff, and we're happy, and she knows it's easy for someone like me to be like, hey mom, I clean shoes now and I sell shoes. I'm Al Bundy. She's like, who's that? And I'm like, don't worry about it, but that's who I am.
Great show.
The hardest job that I've ever had to explain to my mom was when I worked at the adult place where I would clean up the viewing rooms. And that's probably the low point of my life, is a conversation with my mom. So as long as I'm not doing that, she's happy.
So it's a great conversation starter unless it's your mom.
Yeah. It's like, She's like, "Hey, you happy?" And I'm like, "Hey, mom, remember what I used to?" And she's like, "Oh, no. I'm happy. You're happy." Felix said, "Thanks for the insight. It's his first ever show sourcing trip today. Now he's pumped. That's dude going
Get
out for the
after it,
first
man.
time. That's awesome. So good.
Get
We've
after it.
hit the hour, man. It's going by way too fast. I didn't even have to jump up, and we didn't give away a pair of shoes.
Oh, let's
So
do
guys,
it.
before you leave the chat, the question that I put up in the story, winner gets to choose, and you just whoever the first person that puts the right number. I told you the number before we went live, right?
Yep.
Okay. In the last 48 hours, how many trips to the restroom did I have? I'll leave it at that. Throw your number in the comment. Whoever's closest.
It's between 1 and 84.
Yeah.
So that'll make it. That just makes it way easier.
It's been a rough 48 hours.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, man. I'm glad you're on the up and up as opposed to the other way for sure. Yeah.
I'm just scared to eat now.
Yeah. Well, just stay away from microwave and stuff, man.
Well, now, no, Stacy, you know how many times it is. You don't get to play.
Yeah, she's throwing it in there. I don't see the answer yet.
See someone close. Dang, Keith, man, 83. I wouldn't have done the live if 83 was the answer.
Dear Lord.
18, 19, 11.
Oh, someone's gonna do it. They're gonna just count.
Yeah. I saw someone that's close.
Oh,
did we hit it? Oh, there we go.
I don't remember.
Yep, there it is.
There it is.
27
times.
Oh my god.
Wait, you didn't remember?
No, I forgot.
You were just they're close. They're not that
27
close.
on the mark. Message me on Instagram at FlipTheWorldTX. Send me your address and I will get you these shoes, guys. Thanks for playing my wicked game. That's a wrap, guys. I appreciate you guys as always. You know, I love communicating with you guys on Instagram and just shooting it back and forth. And I think we're like-minded in a lot of ways as far as business and motivation. Honestly, you guys motivate us and how we're growing things and making us make sure we don't. I think you always say leapfrog. I was always too fat to play that game, so no one was letting me leapfrog over them. So I was just always the guy on the ground.
Yo, my man, you got food poisoning. You're gonna be leapfrogging real soon.
I know. I'm just like, man, if I could just get food poisoning like twice a month, I might get down to a healthy
you can
weight.
be shedding the LBs, man.
Oh, gosh.
Kind of get that runway model look going. But usually I let people just tell who they are and what they're about. Everybody here knows who you are. Guys, their stuff's going to be in the description. If you haven't and aren't following them, you're living under a rock.
Let it flow.
Awesome hair. Won't stay up.
You know why you won't stay up? Because it's probably clean.
I washed it last night because I thought I was going to get a haircut today.
Yeah, just don't shower and have an infant baby poop in your hand.
Dude, just shave the side. You shave your sides, and I'll do mine, and we'll both Kenny Powers it out.
Oh, I like it.
I'll probably get kicked out of the house, but
I'm going. What did you call me the other day? Krusty from.
Oh no, you're
I
already forgot his name. He's from The Incredibles. He's the bad guy though. But you
that's a new one. That's a new one. It's usually Jimmy Neutron or the Heat Miser or Krusty the Clown.
If you did two of them in like the curls right now, you would have the Jim Carrey when he was the Riddler.
The Riddler or Ace Ventura.
Oh, you could do that one too. Yeah, he did the Riddler as well, where he did but they were different colors.
Oh man,
Ace
figure
Ventura,
that out
works too.
All right, if you missed the beginning, out of the three of us, who has the best hair right now? I
mean, I can get it all in.
Tough decision. Tough decision right now.
I look like
who's got it? Oh, I like it.
Wow, that's yes.
Is this happening?
Pretty good. I can eat my beard.
Is this called bonus content right now? Is this bonus content right here?
This is that extended footage stuff. You usually have to pay for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank y'all so much.
Wow.
Yo, we appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
All right, y'all have a great day. Thanks for everybody that stayed in the chat. Y'all make sure you hit the thumbs up, especially if you're on the rewatch, replay, whatever it's called. See ya.